Welcome to the Audacity, the podcast where we ration men's microphone time. And because we are having Public Offender on today. Yay! I'm so excited.
I am too.
He's going to be our special guest today, and I cannot wait to chat more with him about the performance of masculinity. That's like our big topic for today. And then we have an awesome show as always. We have a very robust tea time today. We've got a lot to discuss. And we have a VIP tea today as well. So other than the Portland Trump invasion, other than Nicole Kidman and Keith Urban's divorce, other than Nicki Minaj getting dissed by, who was it again?
Some girl named Janae.
Janae, that's right. In R&B style, which was so funny.
I know.
And the comment that we got about whether decentering men is actually centering men, we'll also be talking. I know we have a lot to cover.
Really? That's a real question?
That's a real question. I figured we would address it on air because we've kind of been doing that lately, and I kind of like it. I kind of like just picking out a comment every week and being like, let's talk about this a little more because it always sounds good, doesn't it? And then, of course, we have a mailbag for y'all and the crumpets. We're going to play a game that I'm going to suggest. We actually didn't even talk about this pre-show, but it's called Name That Microaggression. So we're going to play that with public and see how it goes. But yeah, I'm going to toss it over to Sovereign to tell y'all about our Patreon VIP membership.
Yes, and we have a new tea spiller by the name of Crazy Chair. Which I
laughed. Welcome, Crazy Chair.
Welcome. These names, they kill me. So yes, join our Patreon if you haven't already. I don't know like what you're doing with your life, but we have a lot of fun over here, and you will get VIP perks like early access to episodes, ad-free listening, because people hate the ads. Our weekly bonus of unhinged, uncensored segments, Crumpets, that me and Lisa, like really have a lot of fun with Crumpets. We laugh, we're unhinged. Oh my God. I'm still thinking about...
Last week was hilarious.
I know. Every week they're great. They're so much fun. And it's just the stuff that we don't talk about on the actual main segments. You guys would absolutely love it. You also get priority mailbags, and you get to spill your own tea with the tea time segment in the voice note. So please send in those voice notes because we love to get those.
We have one today. Yay.
Oh, that's good. That's so great.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, thank you, Sovereign. And let's have some tea. I would love to start with... Just for the sake of just in case we run out of time to cover the other things, I am so tickled by Trump trying to send in the National Guard into what he called war-torn, war-ravaged Portland. I have just been cracking up about this. I have because Portland is one of those places that is already kind of a joke unto itself. Do you know what I mean? Like Portland is already not even one of those cities that is very aggressive with their political action. Like it's, what's it called? They're already kind of playing themselves. Do you know what I mean? Like they're very passive aggressive with their activism anyway. So it's like sending the National Guard there is like imagine the National Guard rolling up and they're expecting this war-ravaged protest, people throwing tear gas at the National Guard. And it's I don't know if anyone has seen Portlandia, but you pull up and they're like, sir, this is a gluten-free, feminist-only bookstore.
Oh my God.
What, why are you trying to occupy Portland of all places? Portland is not an effective political bastion of ethics. And you know what I mean? A lot of the stuff that they do there is it's very performative. So for them to be threatened by that and then try to send in the National Guard to apprehend a freaking barista with a PhD in critical theory or whatever is just really funny to me. You have people protesting, but they brought their like pet goat and their djembe to the protest, and they're like, it's just some guy that's like literally non-threats, like a white man with dreads. Like that's who you are afraid of. Like I don't know.
Yeah.
I don't know. Like it's already like such a white city. Like the activism there is literally just like, let's make all these zines and put them everywhere. And it's like, yeah, people agree with you everywhere. There's no like Republicans living in Portland. Like I don't know. That was just really funny to me. And so a judge basically like blocked it. But it's a lot of big talk in Portland, but it's kind of a echo chamber in and of itself. I mean, I guess I see why they would want to send in the National Guard there, because they think it's such a blue state, such a blue city. But honestly, like that shit was so laughable to me. I'm like, why is there like military tanks gonna pull up to a freaking granola like clothing swap? Like
exactly.
I don't know. I don't get it. They're out here protesting with their pet goats. Like they're fine. Yeah, so I don't know if you heard about this either, but Keith Urban and Nicole Kidman got divorced. That was a pretty hot piece of news after like 20 years of marriage.
I read something like 17 million or something that she has to pay him.
Oh my gosh, yes. So she made a deal with him that for every year of their marriage that he stays sober, she would pay him $900,000.
Can you imagine that level of? It's Nicole Kidman, and
you're Nicole Kidman.
That's what she thought of herself.
I'm
gonna pay you to stay sober. I'm gonna pay you to stay sober while you're with me. And now they're getting a divorce, and now he's going to take that money, and the next woman is going to benefit from her hard-earned money. How much money is he even worth?
That's what I'm asking.
I don't know. Hurt. I can't. I can't.
It hurts me. Yes, this is what we mean when we say like dickmatize, when we say pick me. Like these are not like, it's not to insult the women. It's just to show you like the actual short-sightedness of those actions. Like if a man needs to be worked on before he can be with you, and like you need to do all that work and you need to put your money and like invest in that man, like I don't know, like what do you expect? He wasn't on your level to begin with,
right?
And then you brought him up there. If he didn't have to do that work himself and on himself, then I don't know, that's just not going to stick long term. Then he's like faking it, you know?
Right.
And it almost feels to me like, you know, he keeps talking about her like, oh, my life started when like I met Nicole, or like I was born into her. Like he's used like these weird words, and it's like, yeah, you knew you weren't good enough on your own. And now that you think you're good enough on your own, and some younger woman's like paying attention to you, a younger woman that you can be sort of like, she can look up to you. Now you want that because you know Nicole will never be able to look up to you.
I just did a video today, and I was just talking about how when you build a man up, the number one thing they're going to do is replace you.
Yeah.
And one of the top reasons why they replace you is because they understand in their minds that you will never look at them like, oh, wow, he's just this wonderful man. So they have to go out and find a woman who has never seen him down bad, who doesn't know his flaws, who doesn't know his weaknesses. And it boosts his ego to find someone else. A lot of women will do this thinking that, you know, these women think that men think the way we do. So they'll do this stuff like, oh, if I hold him down, if I show him I'm going to be by his side forever, that he's going to just learn to love and appreciate me. And it's like, no, they're just going to take your money and go use it to impress the next chick. Like, sorry.
It's the oldest trick in the book.
Which is exactly what he's doing. I'm pretty sure his new girlfriend, if he has one, or by the time he has another one, is going to be half her age. I guarantee.
She's 25.
Oh, wow. How old is Nicole Kidman? Like, isn't she like
50 something? I know Keith Urban is in his 50s, so she's half his age. That's for sure.
Wow. See, that's what they always do. I just can't. I just did a video about this today. Like when you date down, you pay up. That was the name of my video. So go check that out.
That's amazing. But anyways. yeah, I'll go check that out. I know.
Yeah, I hate that for her because to me it just shows how low she thought of herself. Like,
It's
I'm
really
going to
too
go
bad.
out here.
So many women do this.
They do. I'm going to go out here. I'm going to find a drug addict. Because I don't know what kind of drugs he were on. I'm just assuming it was the stuff.
He was an alcoholic.
Oh, he's an alcoholic? Okay.
Mm-hmm.
I'm going to go find a person that is suffering from substance abuse. And I'm going to pay him. I'm going to stand by his side while he helps himself and go to, rehab.
Don't even stand by his side, girl. Leave
I'm just
him.
saying.
That's what I'm saying. Like,
I would have rather her done that for a little while, maybe.
Yeah, sure.
But
sure, see if he does it by himself.
Exactly. $900,000 every year. Every year that man was like, oh, I'm going to divorce her. I think when I leave this relationship, I should be good at about $20 million.
No, seriously.
So by the time I get to about $20 million, then I will file for
It was a long con for him.
Yes. This was the long game for him.
He cheated on her before they got married too.
Oh, I didn't know that, but I'm not shocked.
You know what I mean? Like,
so basically, she
shocked.
paid him to stay. She paid him to stay faithful. Mm-hmm. Also, that's what she was thinking. If I pay him this money,
he's smaller than you and shorter than you. If you really don't want him to leave, you can just like sit on him or something. Like, why do you got to pay him money?
That's
you know
awful.
what I mean? Like, just
that is so awful.
Just grab him by the wrist. Where's he gonna go? He's gonna be like, like he can't leave. He's smaller than you. Use force. Why are you using money?
Did she not have an infidelity? I know, but did she not have an infidelity clause? She had,
she had to have, but like
I would have had that. I mean, that was
again at the level of pick me that you're like paying a man to go through fucking rehab and get his life together. You probably didn't have that clause in your
Nicole Kidman. If you ever want to get married again, marry me and
for real.
Give me $900,000
for real. I'll treat you right.
I know, right? Because what? $1 million basically? Like, really?
Don't do it. It's so crazy. All right. Well, I'm kind of torn on what to cover next. Should we do the Nicki Minaj disc?
I don't know if we can play it, though. I thought about it after the fact. I don't think she's a known artist because people tried to make it seem like it was Jhené Aiko, but I was like, that don't sound like Jhené Aiko. I don't think that was Jhené Aiko. There was just another woman named Jhené. And I mean,
I wouldn't be surprised if Nicki Minaj was picking on her too.
Oh, I'm sure she picks on everybody.
Such a bully.
She literally picks on everybody. I hate to see her go down like this, honestly. I'm not a Barb or anything, but I liked her music for a long time.
I liked her music too, and I like the powerful presentation. But all right, so we got a comment on our page, and this is kind of a crown or clown, I guess. This would be the category. But one of our listeners said, have you guys heard about the channel The Rich Red Witch? She says that it's impossible for women to decenter men. Even this talk about decenter men already centers men in women's mind. And the reason I say crown or clown is because these kind of takes can sound like, like it sounds kind of like a flex, I guess. Like, oh yeah, like all these like decenter men content creators, like they're actually centering men. And it's just like, you don't need to decenter men. You just need to center yourself. Well, my question is always like, well, what do you think the patriarchy is? That's kind of like saying you don't need feminism. Like,
exactly.
Is the patriarchy not the forced centering of men in our society? Like, so what do we... Right.
That's the key word. It's been forced on us since before we've come out of the womb to center men. And now decentering men is we are undoing the forced patriarchy that is placed on women and girls. I don't know why that's so hard for people to understand. Oh my God.
And it's frustrating because it'll usually be women that have gone through the process of decentering men. And so it's kind of like you get to the top of the hill and then you sneer at everybody from below. Like, oh, you guys are like centering men by like talking about men.
But you know what, though? I think that some of those women, I agree with you. I think some of them get to the top of the hill and they become bitter. Because a lot of these women, unfortunately, they talk about decentering men, but then they don't have a personality. I did a video. I did a video on TikTok last year where I said, I really think that if a lot of these women, if somehow they knew that they couldn't have a man in their life or some way, that I think a lot of them would kill themselves because a lot of these women don't have a personality. They don't have anything to do. Kat just did a video last week and she was like, A lot of y'all don't have shit to do. You don't have hobbies. You don't have a life. Go find something to do. And you won't be worried about if some women are centering men or decentering men or not. Because, like, why do you care? If you are going to decenter men, that is fine. Then go ahead and do it. If you're not going to, that is fine. Don't. But it's almost like they want to sneer at women because they think that they've gotten to the top of the hill. But it's like, but did they really? You might have gotten a little step above the rest of the brainwashed pick-me women, but you're not here though. They're here. You're a little bit above them, but you still need to get up here, and they're not there yet. And I just feel like that's what this is about. But
it's like a different form of like pick-me behavior.
It is. It's like
I'm not like the other girls. Like, I don't center men.
And it's like, but who are you trying to impress?
Right.
Because we don't give a fuck. So are you trying to impress the men? So now you're centering men again? I don't understand. But here's the thing. This is what I always say really quickly. If you're a drug addict and you decide, you know what, I got to change my life. I'm going to go to NA. Narcotics Anonymous, right? And while you're there, you're going to be talking about drugs the entire fucking time while you are trying to stay clean. Same concept. You're going to talk about men in order to decenter them. The same way you're going to talk about the drugs, what drugs you got started on, what the drugs made you do, how the drugs make you feel. Every time you stop, you end up going back. What are your triggers? This drug, that drug. You try to get clean and all your friends are still doing drugs. You're going to be talking about drugs the entire time while you are trying to get clean. Same concept.
It's the same exact concept.
You're talking about men because men have ruined your life. Men have left you to be a single mother. Men have whipped your ass. Men have cheated on you. Men have stolen from you. Men have whatever they've done to you. You're going to be working that out and talking that through as you are saying, you know what? I don't want to focus on men anymore because men have done this. I want to focus on that. I want to do that. It's all a part of the process. Why this is so hard for people. I really honestly feel like if you explain this to a second grader, they would be like, oh, I get it.
Right.
I understand, mommy. You're basically saying that men are not the center. They're in your life, but they're not the most important thing. I get it. It makes sense. Like a literal second grader will understand this concept. And the rest of y'all are just like, oh, I don't get it.
Like you're overthinking,
you're overthinking
to the point of underthinking. Like you're overthinking it so much that you are actually like
turning
presenting
your brain off.
Yeah, this like not this very simplified version of it that it's like, well, yeah, obviously, like, yeah, if we could do that, this wouldn't even be a conversation. You know what I mean? Like, oh, women just need to center themselves. Yeah, in a society that forcefully centers men. So how do they do that? Oh, you have to decenter the men. Boom. It's right there. That's like the whole core issue of feminism. And like, to me, this is just like saying, oh, you don't need feminism. We're all good. If you just believe really hard.
Right. Oh my God. Oh
okay.
my God.
Well, okay.
Like I said, I really think that the reason why women are nitpicking this is because they don't really want to decenter men. A lot of women have somewhat given up the fairy tale, but deep down they don't really want to. And this is their way of sliding back and saying, but I want to decenter men, but can we really decenter men? I mean,
it's
can we really?
Yeah,
because like, you really haven't given up the fairy tale. There's some piece of you that really wish that something can work out for you. Or it's something there. I don't know exactly what it is, but that's the reason why so basically if you have this mindset, you're not healed. You have a lot of work to do. That's basically what that means. And that's no shade to anybody because we all have work to do on ourselves every day. But you're not near, you're nowhere near as healed as you think. That's just, there's other layers that you need to peel back. That's totally what that means. Because this is a second grader.
It's
like,
very simple.
All
right. Well, let's see if we can quickly cover this VIP tea, and then we will bring up our special guest, the public offender.
Hey, ladies. So I guess I am seeking advice on how to deal with or overcome the anger and resentment I feel towards men. Right now, specifically towards my son's dad. We have a real long history of him just very much emotionally neglecting me and abandoning me. And he has now moved 2 hours away, and so I'm doing 90% of the parenting for our child while he's just, a couple hours away finishing up his schooling, and he's not working, nothing like that. And yet I'm the one living in the home that both of us own, and I'm managing everything. I'm managing our son, I'm managing the house, I'm managing the bills, I'm managing the pets, including his. I'm doing so much, and then he comes around and he minimizes and devalues everything that I'm doing. And he doesn't even seem to understand that I sometimes want a break from our son, that I could possibly want time for myself. And I don't know how to deal with this because I'm so angry. I'm so enraged inside. I'm so tired of the self-sacrificing, the minimizing my value or my input, or just what I've contributed, and just making myself small to keep the peace with him. It's so exhausting, and I just don't know what to do. So I guess any advice would be appreciated. Thank you.
Oh God, I got 2 options to offer. Did you want to go first? I'm sorry.
Nope,
Sorry.
I do not. No.
If it were me, I would be looking for mental peace. Because if he's already not really doing shit, then he's useless in your life. So once you come to the conclusion that he's useless, 90% is basically 100 in my opinion when it comes to that. He moved away. I'm not trying to be funny. He moved away to run away from the responsibility. That was why he left. Regardless to why he told you a job, a career opportunity. No. If he actually wanted to be a part of his son's life, he would be. So he left to get away. Okay. That's the first thing. So you can render him useless. So you got 2 options. You can drop him off to him, drop your son off to him and disappear, which a lot of women are doing that now. I'm just saying, I'm not saying you can do this or you should do it. I'm just saying, let him raise the son. Let him know what it feels like to raise a son with no help. Or you can just take your son and move away from him and cut off contact. That's what I would do. You got those 2 options, because the third option would be you constantly trying to get him to see
The
how
worst
hard
of both
it is.
worlds, for real.
Yeah, and he's not going. It sounds like he doesn't care because he moved away. So it sounds like he's not going to. So you're just going to stress yourself out. So, and I don't know if you would want to go to court and force 50-50 custody. I'm pretty sure since he moved away, he probably doesn't want it. So your only option would be, if he's not going to come around consistently, don't let him come around at all, because that's going to be troubling for your son. And maybe when your son is a certain age, he can go stay with his dad. But that's what I personally would do, one of those 2 things.
And this is kind of why the advice we give to women who want to become mothers is always plan on being a single mother.
Yep.
Because that is what it is. And that, I'll be honest with y'all, like that's kind of how I knew my husband was a real one, was because when we had the conversation about kids, he is like, I would never do that for a man. I would never do that. I would only want you to do that like if you fully wanted to do it. Do you know what I mean? Like because he's like, I would not do that to my body. I would not do that, to my life, and that is just like, that's a really big deal. And most of it is going to fall on you, like the pregnancy, the breastfeeding, the everything else. Like, if we were going to have that kind of setup where he works and like provides the health insurance and all that kind of stuff, like that would all fall on me. So you might as well be a single mom, like in your own mind, you know what I mean? And so I was like, that's very fair. Like that is like, I really appreciate your level of insight into that, because that's kind of like the last thing I need to, if I was ever undecided, like I always leaned more on the side of like, I'm not going to have kids. Yeah, that fucking did it for me. You know what I mean? And he wasn't saying like, oh, I'm going to be an absent father or like anything like that. But it's just like, you're going to be left alone most of the time with the child, because like if one of us is going to have to work, like, I'm sorry, like we don't come from money. So one of us is going to have to work. We don't have the option of like having a full-time, family setup and, whatever. Or like if you did that, like there would still be that sense of like you're working a lot and you don't get to spend time with your kid, like whatever. So you know what I mean? It's just one of those things that's a reality of life. Your husband, even if he's an amazing provider, I say this every fucking episode, he can get hit by a bus tomorrow. He can walk outside. He can be crossing the road to like go run and grab you some milk from the store, and he could get hit by a bus, and like his life insurance policy is probably not very high. Most men don't even think to check into that, by the way.
They don't.
You should check into that, because you're not paying that much more to get more money. And like people just assume it's going to be really expensive. It's not that expensive. But like that money's going to run out if you don't have a work history, like all that kind of stuff. You are either going to be a married single mom, a divorced single mom, or a single mom. Yep. That's what it comes down to. So
absolutely.
Because you don't have the luxury of a man who can just leave his kid at somebody's doorstep.
Yeah. A lot of women are doing that though.
Yeah. And I love that for them, but it's hard. It's hard when you birthed the child. Like, that's your baby. Like, mama's baby, daddy's maybe. That you taught me that. That's amazing. So, and I just want to say that I'm sorry you're going through that. This is why we talk about decentering men, because this is how difficult it is. They will force their own centering in your life. With a child especially. Yep. Like, they will be like, I will sit you down or whatever. Yeah. There you go.
They've been admitting it so much lately, too.
They love to admit it. So, all right. Well, we have the public offender waiting for us in the wings. So we will welcome him into the studio, and we will be right back to talk about masculinity as a performance. All righty, welcome back, everyone. We have the public offender joining us today. Woo! Woo!
Welcome back.
Yes, we love public. It's one of the rare times where we will give a man a microphone on this podcast.
Facts.
He's actually back with us for a second time, and this time y'all can actually see him. When Public first came on, he was one of our first guests, actually, and we had not even started doing our video broadcast yet. So we're especially excited to welcome you with this new format. And why don't you tell our audience a little bit about you, even though I'm sure they all know very well who you are.
Thank you again for having me. I love talking to you guys. I think it's awesome. Well, obviously my name is Public Offender. I make content on TikTok and YouTube, just challenging the patriarchy is the best way to describe it. I very much dislike stupidity. I don't mind ignorance so much, but I don't like stupidity. Sorry. You know what I'm saying? And those are like two different things. No, but you know what I'm saying?
No, it's true. I don't care. Just like how you
know what I mean? Like being stupid is one thing, but being ignorant is one thing, but being stupid, like being willfully ignorant and then being loud and having a microphone, like that doesn't sit well with me. And I'm very much like adverse to like bullies, so I end up bullying the bullies, and that's where I found my place. I was like, oh, they want to be bullies? Cool. I like that. I could be Uncle Barry. I like that. So that's how I got here.
It's amazing. You've been one of our most requested guests, even though you've been on before. But every time we ask, like, who should we have on? There's always like at least 5 people that are like, Public, you guys need to bring Public back. I think people enjoy that, like especially women, because it's really so rare to see men doing this work. And I think you would agree that when a lot of men do this work, they're kind of doing it, I don't want to say for like ulterior reasons, but like there is a little bit of that like feeling of like they just like listening to themselves like talk, or like they like feeling like the hero or something like that, or like they expect like a disproportionate amount of praise. And like it's just very refreshing to see somebody like doing the work in the same way that like women do it, honestly, like in the same way, just pointing it out, just dealing with the, naysayers. And like, I love that you have the patience to like sit there and deal with men and like,
oh my God.
Yeah, that's the Lord's work for real. So
get gaslit for 3 hours a day.
Yes. Yeah. I always say his level of patience should be studied, because how?
Yeah, I really.
It's easy. Yeah. It's easy. I'm going to tell you guys why it's easy. I've been clocked this. It's because I'm a man, right? So I've been gaslit before by men, like my father, right? He was the first person to gaslight me, the worst. But it's only like one man. You know what I'm saying? It's been, or maybe like it was like a friend group early on, and you usually write that off as a man as like, that's just like a rite of passage. You know what I mean? Like your friends hating or, whatever it is, right? Or calling you, like when they're wrong, they call you a dumbass. Like just, like that's where the gaslighting starts. Like when in your peer group as a boy, I remember like many a times having full blown arguments with my friends and I was 100% right, and they would be calling me a stupid ass and like, you're dumb and like da-da-da-da. And I'm sitting there like, I know I'm right. Then I would go home and I would talk to my brother who was 6 years older than me, and then he would be like, no, your friends are dumb and they're haters. And I would be like, oh, okay. So he gave me that validation. And so it gave me the confidence to keep going out there and keep being like a thorn in the side of the idiots. And I just like kind of just did that. But I didn't have to do that interpersonally in a relationship with the man, which I think is completely different than dealing with, you know, like a cohort of you know, like my peers or whatever the case may be. So that's why I have more patience, because I have like 43 years of like not being gaslit by men that were also sleeping with me and I was having kids with. And you know what I'm saying? Like that's a whole, I shared finances. That's a whole different level. And because the pressure is completely different. So
yeah, you weren't being told like fairy tales and stuff. Okay, well, can I kick this off with kind of, I think a question that probably a lot of people have for you, which is like, why do you do this work? Like, why is it important for you to like be a thorn in the side of the patriarchy or whatever? Like as a man, especially, like that's something that, you know, should benefit you. Like some of the people that kind of say the quiet part out loud and say the patriarchy is natural, it's the way things are meant to be, you know, and they'll be like, no, this is like a good thing. So like, why, I don't know, why do you do this work? Why is it so important to you to like see a different kind of world?
One of the main reasons is because I'm Black. And as a Black person, I've always been like adverse to systems of oppression, right? Like racism. I've always been adverse to racism, obviously. When I got older, I was extremely adverse to capitalism. And when you see the patriarchy for what it is, when you see that like that's the granddaddy of them all, you have a choice, even if you think it benefits you. Because I finally found a system that somewhat benefited me, which is the thing that makes it really hard to go against and challenge, right? It was easy for me to challenge racism because racism doesn't benefit me at all. It was easy for me to challenge capitalism because I'm not a capitalist. I never had any capital. I was born in poverty in the projects in the 80s. Like I never, you know, money was never, you know what I'm saying? Like all my friends was on Section 8, you know what I'm saying? Like I don't know nothing about that. So it was easy, but it was hard when it was like, oh, but you're a man and you are afforded all of these like unspoken, you know, privileges, right? That people don't like pay attention to. It's hard to challenge that. But for me, I was like, I want to be free. Like, I'm going to be honest. I'm selfish. I'm tired of being oppressed. I'm tired of oppression. Like, I'm sick of it, you know? And even though I'm a man, whatever, if I gotta, I guess, lose my little membership to the boys club, I don't care. Because I don't like men. Generally speaking, I don't really like men, you know, like as a group. I like my friends. I got friends that I like that are men. But as I got older, I just started to be like, dudes is dumb. Like dudes are, it isn't even before I was doing
Once
anything.
Once you out-evolve them for real, it's like, it's so easy to see how they're so like stuck in the mud. Like, I don't know, just spinning their wheels a lot of the time. Like, I love one of my biggest takeaways, like lessons from you is like the circular male logic. I love that. I literally, I think about that at least once a day and I'm like, oh, there it is. There it is. I know you think about it probably a lot more than that because you have to deal with them, but yeah.
Every day.
Yeah.
Do you think your level of misandry, I don't want to call it that, I'm just being silly, but do you think that
you can call it that, that's okay.
Right.
Do you think it intensified after becoming a content creator? Or do you think you were already, okay.
No, I mean, I would say before I was just more like indifferent. Yeah, for sure. You know how it goes. I was more indifferent to men. Right? I think at a certain point in time, I was like, oh, man, or like whatever, you know. But then now I genuinely, when I say I don't like men, again, I'm talking about as a class, like you know what I'm saying? I love I love humanity. You know what I mean? That's what it is. I love humanity. It's all good. But I mean, like as a class, right? You know, I hate the sinner. I hate the sin, not the sinner, right? Kind of deal. But
that's amazing.
When you think of man and manhood, you're like, what is this? How is this okay? How does this benefit me? This is stupid. You know, whatever. You just, and once you see it for what it is, you can't unsee it. You have a choice. You know what I'm saying? Like you either go deeper into the rabbit hole or you try to go back, and I was never going to go back, so it's like now I'm like full blown, like, yeah, I really just don't like men in general. Most men that I come across, I don't like. They're like weird, and they are like way behind the times, and I can't really talk to them. I can't be myself, and I don't want to be. I'm too old to be around people that I can't be myself around.
Oh my God, that drain your energy too. Like a lot of. Well, okay, so we're kind of like dancing around the topic at hand. Like, I think what you're kind of saying, like, you noticed about men and manhood and like masculinity is, for lack of a better term, is kind of a performance. Like, when was the first time that you kind of like noticed that? Like, what was that like for you to realize, like, are people just like pretending? Like, what is going on?
Like, I knew this from a really young age. I couldn't contextualize it, right? I couldn't verbalize it, but I knew what it was. So the idea of like proving my manhood was always stupid to me when I was a kid, I'm saying. And that was when I was talking about how me and my friends used to butt heads, right? So if you grow up like poor, it don't matter black or white, but if you grow up poor, hypermasculinity is like it's a tool, like it's a survival tool for a lot of us men, right? Because if you don't have that, if you don't wear it, you get picked on. You don't get picked for the teams. You get ignored, So I had to do this like balancing act between, like I would go out and fight, and I would go out and play sports, and, I play football, and, you do all that type of stuff to like prove yourself. And also I thought it was fun, but, mostly it was like to prove yourself. But on the back end, when they would want to do certain things, I would be like, that's stupid. Like, I'm not doing that, or when my closest friends, when they wanted to like fist fight, if it wasn't like boxing or whatever, I would be like, why are we fighting? Like, why am I fighting? Because they always, and I always thought it was dumb, and they would be like, oh, you scary. And I'm like, bro, I'm not scared of none of y'all. I just think it's stupid to fight your friends, and I was saying that to them when I was 13, 14, right? I know women think that sounds crazy, right? Like, I know y'all like, what the hell? But as boys, that's like a known, I was like, bro, if I fight y'all, we're not going to be friends anymore, because why are we fighting, And so I knew early on that like that whole like rite of passage crap was stupid. Like, I was like, this is dumb as hell. The first time I could articulate it though was after I had kids, after I had sons myself. And I was like, I don't live vicariously through my sons. I don't care what they do. I'm not, my babies aren't addicted to watching basketball and playing sports and stuff like me. I don't care about none of that. You know what I mean? Like, once I really had my own kids, and I knew that my job was to not turn them into men, but to just kind of like guide them and, you know what I'm saying? Just be like a rail guard for them, but just help them develop themselves. All that like manhood crap went out the window. I was like, yeah, this is stupid. This is dumb. I don't care.
Yeah.
There's so much to cover about this, but I'm really enjoying asking you these questions and like having you answer it from like your lived experience, because you're right. Like, so many women are confused by these concepts, and we're confused when y'all actually play out the scripts for us, or like lay out the scripts for us. And it's like, wait, you really thought you had to do that? You really thought there was this pressure, there was this peer, like, where did they learn that? How did it all, you know what I mean? So
no, you could literally get hurt not being like that though. Like, you could like lose your life. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's like think about being in prison.
It's the same thing with Black women too, because that's one of the things that they say, like, oh, you guys are so masculine and you guys are tough. And it's like, you kind of have to be where we're from. Otherwise, you're a prey. You are a victim,
Yep. That's exactly what it is.
So I totally get it. Yeah.
That's all it is.
Yeah, so I was gonna ask, like, what do you think like some of those scripts are? Like, what is kind of laid out for you as a man that then your peers are enforcing? Like, what is at the core of it? Like, what are you trying to prove, I guess?
You don't want to be, so you don't want to be on the lower rung of the cult, right? Like, you want to be a high-ranking official in the cult, right? There's benefits to it. There are ways to move up in status though, right? It's a combination of things, but violence, sexual prowess, money, things of that nature, right? Which all kind of lead to popularity, but, just being socially accepted, by the general masses also will move you up, because they don't want to challenge, you know what I'm saying? Like, they don't want to challenge people either. So if like everybody thinks you're cool, then they're not going to be like, he's not cool. They're just going to be like, oh yeah, he's cool, right?
Yeah.
So you can do that being funny or, whatever. So when you're a man, I would say getting out of being a child, when you're a man, it's like, how many women can you sleep with? How much money can you make? Right? And not how much can you make necessarily, because it's not about like stacking money or even, it's not about like how many zeros you have in your bank accounts. It's like, what do you have to show for it though? Right? What kind of car are you driving? What, like, don't nobody love a wealthy man more than a man. Don't nobody, you know what I'm saying? Don't nobody love don't nobody love a rich buff man more than a man. Like
and
a
want to
cis-het
impress
man,
him,
a heterosexual
and,
man, and want to impress him and be like, and be flued out and just be in his presence. I'm like, bro, you wanna... Like, what the hell? This is crazy. What the hell?
What do you think about this, Public? Because this is a theory that I've had as to why a lot of men who actually like men, like sexually, one of the top reasons why they stay on the down low is because they don't want to be cast to the bottom of that hierarchy. What do you think about that?
Of course.
Okay.
That's all it is.
Because they try to blame women. They try to blame us and say, oh, y'all are the reasons why. And it's like, no, I think y'all just don't want to be cast to the bottom of that hierarchy that you're talking about. Because for whatever reason, a lot of men are just not going to be openly accepting of you. They're going to say, I don't want to be seen talking to you. I don't want to be out with you hanging out because I don't want people to think that about me. They don't want that sort of outcasting sort of situation. So they just lie. But that's always been my theory.
And then it's also funny because then if a man really likes women and, like not a sexual conquest or whatever, but then he's a simp. So then I'm always wondering, like, who do these men hate more? Is it women or is it other men? Like, are you more devalued by loving a woman or by sleeping with a man? Like, as a man?
Remember last week?
It's that circular logic. Like, I swear to God.
But so at its core is men hate femininity. So if you are feminine, whether you are a male, whatever, if you are feminine, then they're going to hate you. Like, I just saw a video today. It was like, I don't know if you guys see this, but there's this like trend, I would say, where men are like hitting on masculine presenting women.
Yeah, I've seen that.
And they're like pouring their hearts out to these women. And I'm like, okay, so let's make this make sense. If I said you liked men, you would crash out. But you like a woman that is dressed like a man, right? That presents like a man. You think that that's okay to get online and like publicly, you know what I'm saying? Like pour your heart out to this woman, right? And be like, oh girl, and flirt with her, all that. That's okay, but you can't flirt with the man. You can't flirt with the man, right?
Oh my God.
And the reason why is because they hate femininity. So if a man presents like a feminine, you know what I'm saying? Like a feminine man. They hate that. Also, what they hate, one of the most feminine things you can do is get penetrated sexually in a man's mind. That they associate that directly with women. So a man that's getting penetrated by another man, oh, that's feminine. That's the ultimate, you know what I'm saying? Like act of femininity is getting what they would say fucked, right? That's the thing. So if a man is letting him, oh no, I can't, oh no, hell no, I ain't nobody, I ain't doing the bending. I'm doing the bending. I ain't been, you know what I'm saying? Like it's hard. It's like, you see what I'm saying? I'm like, bro, it's just like at the end of the day, what they did was the patriarchy convinced men to hate femininity. And once you hate femininity, it don't matter who it's attached to. It don't matter if it's attached to a woman, a man, a child. It don't matter if it's now and then they put everything that makes men decent people, integrity, patience, intelligence, the pursuit of, intelligence and education, having empathy, being nurtured. They put all of that under the umbrella of femininity, conveniently. Those are female traits. That's what females do, right? And it automatically does the trick, right? Now men don't want to be smarter. They don't want to be more empathetic. They don't want to because those are woman traits. That's the game. That's how they get you.
Sorry.
So it is gay to like women.
Basically, that's gay, bro. Remember,
like I don't.
You like women, man.
But that's
gay,
been our question for the past 3 weeks. We're like, wait, is it gay to like women?
No, it's gay to, in their mind. This is the gay part. Again, it's not the woman. It's how you treat the woman. If you treat the woman like women treat women, which is feminine, that's gay. That's gay. That's who they call gay. That's what they call the simps and the panders and all that stuff, right? That's the soft guys, the guys that love their wives, that listen to their wives, respect. That's gay because that's feminine. That's the feminine part. But if you got a woman and you treating her like dog shit, you the man.
So why does that make you masculine? Because it's not feminine?
Because it's not feminine. Masculinity.
It's just the absence of...
It's the absence of femininity. And it's the opposite of femininity. So and this is why I say all masculinity is bad. I don't believe in the concept of toxic masculinity, right?
Thank you.
Because femininity is to offset masculinity, correct? Right? Everybody, okay, cool. That's what I get from it. So if women are empathetic, intelligent, sorry, not women, but femininity, whatever, right? If femininity is intelligence, patience, integrity, consistency, caring, whatever, empathy, all these things, then what is masculinity?
The opposite of that.
It's the opposite of that. By default, it's the opposite of that. Therefore, you can't be a decent person and be masculine. Those things they conflict with one another, right?
Well, because you hate your own humanity, right? Like everybody has that leaning towards those feminine traits, whether you like it or not. That's why men have to like bully each other out of it. Guess why? Because it's there. Because it's there. Because little boys are empathetic. They do want to strive towards that. They want to care for others and be cared for. They want to have that exchange. And then their own peers will beat it out of them because somebody's dad, taught them, had an experience, and then passed that on to them and said, you're going to have to be like that because you're not a little girl. And, boys don't cry and boys don't do this. And it's like, okay, well, when you hate your own humanity, like that's a real problem because the rest of us are also human. Like you don't like other men, you don't like other women. Like there's like this very
you don't
small.
Like yourself. You automatically like you hate yourself because you got to think about it. I didn't mean to cut you off. I'm so sorry.
No, I literally you went to a better place than where I was going. So that's perfect. Please.
You literally gotta. The way I see it is, we are all half man, half woman. Whether you are a man or a woman, you are half man and half woman. Point blank. Period.
Yes.
So you are cutting as a man. You're cutting off the femininity side of yourself, the woman side of yourself, which women, we embrace everything, but the men are only embracing their so-called masculinity side or whatever. And it's like when you cut off half of your humanity and cut off half of who you are, you're not a complete whole person. And an incomplete non-whole person can't love you, they can't nurture you, they can't do anything. So whenever y'all hear people say, when we say a lot of these men, even if they're not sexually attracted to men, they don't like women. Because I say most men don't like women. Like they don't like women. And it doesn't mean that they're gay necessarily, which that's, the jury is still out on that.
Most men aren't gay. No, most men aren't gay. They really aren't. Like they really, sexually, they really prefer women.
But they don't like the essence of a woman. So if you don't like my essence, you don't like me, and I don't think you like women. Do you know what I'm saying? So you don't have to be gay.
You're homosocial.
I don't care what you are.
You're homosocial.
Which is like awful.
A whole other mind fuck.
Yeah, it's like why are you even on planet Earth? Like why are you here? Like it doesn't
to hang with the boys, Sovereign. To hang with the boys.
Which is
Saturdays are for the boys.
Which is fine. Then leave women the fuck alone. I don't understand why that's so hard for them. Leave women alone. You don't want to hear a woman talk. You remember when I said I think 85% of men, if they were legally given the opportunity to hold a woman in a dungeon and put duct tape on her mouth and only bring her out. And only bring her out when they...
Oh, without a doubt.
Thank you, public. Because I said this and people got mad at me. And I was like, I'm trying to tell y'all if they were... Because the one thing I hear men complain about with the feminine women is that we talk too much. They don't care about how our day was. They don't care what Lisa said in accounting at work today. They don't give a fuck. They don't care how you feel. If you're sick, it doesn't matter. I expect you to get up and cook me dinner. They literally do not care.
If she just had a baby?
Yeah, she just had a baby. You're being lazy. Oh, you're taking this postpartum depression thing. You're just trying to get attention. Like they literally hate everything about you. That's why I hate when women have babies and that's when they find out that their husbands like they fucking hate them. Like that's when you found out when it's too late, because it's like they don't have any empathy, and it's like I'm sorry, y'all.
It's a cold game.
I can't.
It's a cold game.
I can't, y'all.
Can you
That's a cold
speak
game.
to that, Pub, more though? Like the whole like if they would like why like
they would.
What
definitely.
is the mentality there? Is it just like
we would be a wife appliance?
I'm sorry. I think men are like emotionally circumcised. You know what I'm saying? Like you guys were talking about earlier. Because it's serious. They're like they, you know, like you were saying, okay, so you were saying like we are like half man, half woman, you know what I'm saying? So they have circumcised the woman, you know what I'm saying? They cut off the woman part and they kept the man part, right? And that's not healthy.
kind of like tying off a limb until it just dries off, right? Like
Until it drops.
Like if you were to,
Yes.
like a wart or something, you like tie it off and then it just dries off because there's no blood flow to it. Yeah.
But for men, what they're tying off is like both their arms and their legs.
Right.
So all they're left
And
with
you're
is
just
a
a
torso.
stump.
You're just
and the penis, because they need the
And a
penis so
penis.
they can sleep with the women, because that's the most important.
With no
Because
arms or legs.
They don't need none of that. All they need is a penis.
Literally screaming.
And the reason why is because they objectify women, and that's why you were like, well, how can they sleep with us and not like us? Because you're an object.
Oh, I know why they can't.
They don't care about your personhood, right? They just care that you provide,
Is it
good
validation?
You know what I'm finna say, Lisa?
labor.
We learned with the butterball turkeys.
Oh yeah, we did. We sure did. We always remember the butterball turkeys, the monitor lizard,
And the apple pies.
that poor
Stop it. Not the
chimpanzee
apple.
that they shaved
Mhm.
and sold and
The
like prostituted.
corpses.
The corpses.
The
of
corpses.
course. Oh my God.
Really quickly, that just reminded me. I watched the Ed Gein story on Netflix. Did y'all
I started
watch that?
to. I turned it off though.
Oh my God.
Mm-mm.
This man.
It was too fake for me.
This man was having sex with dead bodies. He was digging them up and having sex with them. When a warm-bodied real woman came over and wanted to fuck him finally, he told her, "You're too warm," because he got used to fucking a cold dead body. Literally, I'm not even joking. In order for him to fuck her, he made her get in a ice bath so that her temperature could come down. And she did it. She agreed. So I'm like, me and my boyfriend was like, well, which one is more like diabolical, him or her at this
She
point?
had to
Because
do
she
it.
agreed to it and she did it.
Fight, flight, fawn, or freeze. And
That is the
she chose to.
That is the craziest thing.
She chose
But that's
to
what that just
fawn.
reminded me of. Yeah. That's what that reminded me of. And that's proof that some men, we know all men are not going to do that, but some men really just see you as you're just some receptacle.
Producer Ryan literally just sent me a screenshot of a comment that he found on our very own channel from Proud 50/50 Man. Says, if I could keep a woman in my basement with a bag over her head and duct tape on her mouth, I would. LOL. I'd feed her 3 times a day and take her outside.
I believe that.
I just don't know why people get mad at you for saying it when men are out here saying it themselves.
Oh, they get mad at me all the time. They tell me I'm a misandrist, I'm bitter, all that. And I'm like, all you got to do is pay attention to a lot of men's behavior. Listen to what they're saying. Like, they're always talking about, those, we were talking about the old sitcoms where like Al Bundy, perfect example. She was annoying. He didn't want to hear her voice. He didn't want to hear her talking. Everything about her annoyed him. And that's the trope that they put on TV is this man is just the ball and chain. The wife is a ball and chain and she's annoying and she's this and that. And some guys, public, what do you think? Do you think that guys get around each other and completely trash their wives to fit in? Or do you think that's really how they feel?
Oh yeah, no, both. But
you think it's both? Okay.
Yeah, no, I think it's both. But I did a video on that, how I was like, how group chats almost ruined my marriage.
Oh.
Yeah. So this was like probably like 4 years ago or so.
Okay.
But the group chat started like probably 6 years ago. And then, you know what I'm saying, they went on for years.
Mm-hmm.
But the worst one was this like fantasy football one I was in. And it started off fantasy football.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm like, cool.
Yeah.
I join it. It's cool. Everything's cool. It was even a woman in there at first. Then like week 6, the woman left, most of the dudes, because it was like 14 people in there. By the time when it got its worst, it was probably like 6 of us communicating daily. The dudes would be in there like talking about cheating on their wives and stuff. Like 3 of the dudes in there were like actively cheating. And I was like, why are you guys cheating? I was like, doesn't that get old? And you know what I'm saying? Like, and I'm thinking like, you can talk to them. You could, you know what I'm saying? Like you could have a conversation. And I'm in, like, especially like on some man-to-man stuff. So I'm in there like, yo, man, like, you need to go to therapy for that. Like, I remember, when I was in my early 20s, I cheated and it was terrible. And one thing I learned was like, it's not like you're not doing it for yourself. You're doing it for the validation of other men. Like I told him, this is even before I had even started to do anything. I just had done like, I guess like a little bit of work. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, yeah, bro, because I'm married and I'm like, you can't like, you got to get over that cheating stuff, bro. You've been married for a long time. So cool. I done did all of that. I done processed all of that. So I'm having a conversation from that perspective. Like, we're like 40 years old. We're like 35, whatever, like 38 years old at the time, 30, 39 years old. And you guys are like, yeah, man, I was with this girl last night. Yeah, man, I was with this woman last night. Like, sending screenshots. I'm like, this is corny. Like, I'm telling them I'm the only dude saying it, though. Listen to what I'm saying. Not all the men were cheating. Out of the men that were in there, not only, but 3 of them were cheating. So the majority of us weren't cheating. We all had wives. We all had women, right? Long-term relationships. Only 3 of them were cheating. I'm the only man telling them, oh, that's weird.
You look stupid.
Oh, that's crazy, right?
Yeah.
You're like, what are you doing? They're laughing at me. I'm laughing at them harder. Like, what? Y'all stupid. That's goofy. Woo, woo, woo. So long story short, though, I ended up like, not the cheating stuff, but just like, the way the conversations would go, the type of stuff we will be talking about, sending like twerk video posts, like whatever, you know what I'm saying? Yeah. Just doing, like at that point, I was just like, I'm doing the guy stuff though now. And then my wife found it and was like, what is this? And I was like, no, I'm not thinking nothing about it. I'm like, what are you talking about? Like, we're in a group. I didn't do anything wrong. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I'm like, what are you talking about? She was like, what are you like, dude? This is weird. Like, this is weird behavior. And I'm like, what? And she told me like later on, she was like, that was like a time when I was like, I don't know who you are. Like, you know what I'm saying? Wow. She really was thinking about leaving. And I was like, yo, that's crazy. But I ended up, she told me, I think, we definitely argued about it at first, but then like quickly I was like, no, you know what? You're right. That's crazy. Because before I got in there, I wasn't doing that. I wasn't on that type of time. That wasn't me. And I saw what it was. It was that influence from those, you know what I'm saying? From those two. Now, I was never in there. I never said nothing bad about my wife or like, it was never nothing like that. And it was just the banter back and forth over certain, saying certain stuff, commenting on women's bodies, whatever, sending, whatever. That type of stuff. Like, and it was crazy because it wasn't like I was in this place now or nothing like that, right? But I definitely, up until that point, had known that stuff was problematic. Mm-hmm. You know what I mean? Like going into but you just, and it's like joining a frat, like any frat. You don't change it. Yes, it changes you.
It changes you.
Right?
For sure.
Either, and you got 2 choices. You either conform or you leave. So once that happened, I was like, you know what? Y'all got it. We had gotten to it one day. I was checking them about some other stuff. It was like being back in high school, being back in junior high school with my friend. Oh, you dumb, you weird, dog. Dude, they call me in that same group chat. They call me trans. They call me gay.
What?
They call me, yep.
For calling them out.
For calling them out on, but I would call them out on a bunch of stuff. Not, you know what I'm saying? I call them out on a bunch of weird, because they would say transphobic stuff. And I would be like, that's gotcha. You guys are like kids. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, like, why are you? And they'd be like, oh, you a transformer. I'm like, bro, we went to elementary school together.
Like, what are you talking?
You know me since I was a kid, which it don't matter either way, but it was just, that was because that's how stupid they are. They're like, there's no way that you can not hate trans people, you know what I'm saying, and not be trans. You know what I'm saying? Like, the only way for you to not hate trans people is for you to either be a gay man or be trans yourself. And I was like, I'm neither. I just think it's weird to be homophobic and transphobic at damn near 40 years old. Like, what are we doing? And they called me sad wee crip, because all my friends are crips. From the city I'm from. So they called me sad wee crip because I refused to cheat on my wife. They were like, you like, Like, oh, we gonna like literally like threatening me almost. Like, oh, we're gonna get you some new coochie. I was like, bro, trust me, dog, I'm good. Like I don't need it.
I just can't believe they were all so proud of like being a 304, like being the town bicycle.
That's masculine. That's masculine.
Right.
It's very masculine.
That's what makes
and it's
them
very
a man.
feminine. It's very feminine to be like, yeah, I don't want to cheat. Like, I don't want to cheat on my wife. Like, it was just that. It literally, that was all it took. I said, I don't want to cheat on my wife. I'm gay. I'm sad. I'm like, because I don't want to cheat on my wife.
Do you?
Are you serious? Like, and I wouldn't. It was one of the craziest times ever.
Yeah, well, it sounds like she had the right intuition. Sorry, go ahead, Sovereign.
No, it's okay. Do you think that there is a level of jealousy there for not having what you had? Or do you really think that they are just really that far gone that they think being faithful is just like the worst thing a man can do? Like they really think
so it's a mixed bag. So they ascribe, because I talked to them. I challenged their logic. And this is how I know I did a really good job, because here goes the cult. This is how powerful the cult is. One of the men actually was like, you make a lot of sense. But he never said it in the group chat. He hit me back privately, text me, and was like, yo, I do feel like I need help. I do feel like what I'm doing is wrong. I do. Literally. And I didn't say nothing to the chat. I just had the conversation with him on the back end. And I told him how it worked for me and how I had to, like see women as people and human beings. And the craziest thing is, like, I'm listening to this now, like I'm talking about this now, right? But I'm telling y'all, this was years before I even started to like consciously, but I just knew like intuitively, this, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's crazy. Like, I wasn't by saying I'm not perfect. Like, I was bad, but I wasn't like being like the worst type of man. Just was not in. I just didn't want to be that. I was like, I mean, we got families now, and I love my wife. Like, my wife is beautiful. I'm lucky to have her. Like, I would say stuff like that, and they'd be like, "Oh, here you go." And they ascribe to the ideology that women are collectibles. And they are things to be had and collected. And they're Pokemon, and you got to catch them all. And men can do that, but women can't. If you want to get you some new dick, you're a she-wolf, you're a devil in disguise, right? But this man could literally sleep with all of your friends, they mamas, aunties, cousins, everybody. And what?
Yeah.
That's just
lie about it, by the way, because he wasn't open about it with his women. He was, you know what I'm saying? Like,
he was telling them all,
of course.
different lies and stuff.
No, he would tell the side women the truth. They knew. Like, he showed me to like the women. The side women knew.
Yeah.
The side women knew. The wives didn't know. The women didn't. The women, and I'm sitting there like, at some point, it didn't matter. 3 kids, 5 kids, retire. Like, it didn't matter where they making money. It didn't matter. They just had a disease almost, but it wasn't. You know what I'm saying? It really was them. They're just fucking narcissistic. And they didn't want to address it. And at that time, I didn't have the language. I didn't know it was narcissism. I didn't know nothing like that. I just knew that's pretty disgusting to be like, oh, I'm about to sleep with as me. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you like living with this woman, like, I was like, yeah, that's crazy, bro. And I got beat down for that. And until I left, and I was just like, I left. I'm good. And I've been held. And shortly, I would say like a year and a half later is when I started to like consciously unpack misogyny within myself. And I was like, oh, you were right. Like, I went back to that time. I was like, yeah, you were right. Good. Good on you.
Yeah. You were like telling yourself. Wow. No, sorry. That's just like mind blowing, because I really don't think women understand how casually and, this stuff happens, and how easy it is for men to sort of not rise above the level of the worst behaved man in their, like in their nearby circle. Like, it's just for some reason, like it's a race to the bottom almost. Like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It is.
Yeah. I that just blows my mind. Like, I don't understand, like, because to me, that's like you're going against evolution in a lot of ways too. And like, this is why this is concerning to me. Like, this is why like I do the work. Part of why I do the work is because like we are not going to get anywhere. We evolved through cooperation. So if we have like 1/2 of the population that hates, you know, a certain part of their own humanity and other people's humanity, then like, how are we supposed to progress forward? Like, aren't we just going to be stuck in one place?
You can't. That's the game though. You asked earlier, like, what are men here for? Men's purpose right now in society, because we're engineered this way, not naturally, but men's purpose right now in society is to uphold the patriarchy. You know what I'm saying? Like, that's our like number one. Every man has that job. I don't care what your career is. That's your number one job, is to uphold the patriarchy. By all means, keep your boots on the necks of women. Keep your boots on the necks of children. Keep, you know what I'm saying? Punch down, push down, squish, 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 squish. Like, that is your number one job as a man, first and foremost. It don't matter if you poor, don't matter if you rich, don't matter if you black, don't matter if you white, it doesn't matter. That is your number one job, and men around you will always remind you of that. They will never let you forget that. Because as soon as you step out of that, you're gay. They got to shame you. They might beat you up. They might, you know what I'm saying? Like, literally, like you might get beat up over that type of stuff. So it's yes. It's a real thing, and it's beyond problematic. You know what I'm saying? Like, that word doesn't do it justice.
It's scary.
It's destructive. It's scary, but it's destructive at the end of the day. That's what it is.
You know, this shit always falls back on women, and I've just sort of accepted that, like, we are just naturally gonna have to lead everybody out of this. Like, I don't know, it falls back on women. Like, we're gonna have to deal with it. And I'm like, so every time I try to think about it, it's like, if you go the bell hooks route and you're like, no, like, we have to love the men, etc. Well, that's already what men get under the patriarchy. Like, they already get unconditional love. Like, no matter how much they try to say, like, oh, only women and children and dogs get unconditional love. Like, that's not fucking true. Those are like, women do not receive unconditional love. A lot of men do, though, by their families. Yeah, right. Exactly. It's the same men.
They be kicking and punching their dogs.
Yeah. And hating their children. And literally teaching their children how to hate themselves. No, for real. And then I'm like, okay, so then what do women do? Do we resort to violence? And then I'm like, no, because then that takes us backward. Okay, well, go ahead. State your case.
Hey man, look, hold on. See, this is where this is what I be saying. Because I'm under, look, this is what I think. I think women can beat the patriarchy by yourself if you guys want to, right? But I think the numbers the numbers in which it would take women to come together as a collective to do so is virtually impossible. Without violence, I'm saying. I think you can beat it peacefully, but it would take 40, 50%. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's damn near impossible to get, you know. So, okay, cool. If you can do that, great, do it. By all means, 4B it up, right? Like, 4B literally could crush the system, no doubt. Like, one generation of women being like, I'm not having kids. Like, 50% of women just being like, I'm not having kids. The whole system's gonna crumble, right? But that's hard to do. Short of that, if you can get 10% of women, 15% of women, and some Molotov cocktails, hey, you know what I'm saying? Like, now we, you know what I'm saying? Like, now we on to something. You know what I mean? Like, now you get some Aqua Tofana going. You get some, you know what I'm saying? You get some, like, orchestrated, you know, and I'm not advocating for violence. I'm just saying that
that's what
they use violence all the time. You know what I'm saying? Like, I would love for it to get pulled off without it. You know, I would love a bloodless revolution. Right? Of course. Oh, that's what I would love. But I don't know. Is it possible? Yes. Is it probable? No. That's all I'm saying. So I'm all for it. By any means necessary, right?
I think a lot of our viewers know why we don't like pick-me women. We want to hear it from you. Because I remember you did a few videos about a couple of pick-me women and you were like, they are problematic. So yeah, I want this to come from a man. Why pick-me's are problematic to feminism, to women being free from oppression. What's your take?
Pick-me's are dangerous like coons are dangerous for black people, right? Like, it's the same, they're the same people. The same way me as a man, I'm dangerous to the patriarchy because, and you see, little old me, right? Little old me, I'm not even good. Like, I don't got no hundreds of thousands. Like, I'm not even good at this shit, right?
Almost.
Little old me.
You getting there.
No, I mean, just be real.
It.
I'm being real, though. Yeah, it's all, I'm good. Hey, one day, whatever. But I'm saying, I'm not even on that type of time. Like, I talk my shit. I do the best job I could do, right? Like, I'm a outwork you kind of person. Like, you know, that's my thing.
Yes,
but like, right? Like, that's my work ethic or whatever you want to say. But like, even having just one man being like, yo, here's the flashlight. Let's put it on the system. I get death threats. You know what I'm saying? Like, I just go to the extreme. I get death threats. They gonna pull up to my house. They gonna F my wife. They gonna unalive my babies. Like, just straight up and down. I'm like,
degenerates, dude.
Oh my God.
and I'm just telling, like, but what am I lying about though? You know what I'm saying? Like, that's all I'll be wondering. I'm like, cool, you can threaten me all day, but can you point out the lie, right? It's, oh, he's a terrible human being behind closed doors. Like, they're hoping that one day something, but you know what I'm saying? It's always that. It's never, I'm going to challenge what you're saying, because
they can't.
They can't. Just one man being a problem, being honest about the patriarchy is so destructive and corrosive to the patriarchy. The same way having one woman be apologetic and making excuses for the patriarchy is so destructive, because they'll prop her up and they'll amplify her voice way beyond where it needs to be, where it ever deserved to be heard. But they'll blow her up, Candace Owens. They'll blow her up, Pearly Things. They'll make her famous, put her on this pedestal, right? They'll give her money. They'll do all of this stuff. They'll prop her up because there's not enough of those women.
Yeah.
Right? There's not enough of them. So when they get one, they make sure she's successful. They make sure she, you know what I'm saying, she goes the distance or whatever the case may be. And they use her as a cudgel to beat women over the head with. Like, sovereign woman, you don't want to have children. This woman is saying your life isn't complete unless you have children, and you are harmful to to society because you don't want to have children, right? How can you argue against this woman? It's not me saying it, a man. It's not me saying it. It's this woman saying it, even though it is a proverbial patriarchal fist up that woman's rectum controlling her mouth. She's just a puppet for the patriarchy. So essentially it is a man saying it, but in a woman, you know what I'm saying? That's why we have race traders and gender traders. That is a literal gender trader, right? And I am a gender trader, but not all gender traders and not all race traders are the same, right?
Yes, for sure.
Lisa, you would be considered a race trader.
Yeah.
You 100%. You're considered a race trader without a doubt.
Yeah.
I'm considered a gender trader.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yep. Yeah.
That's what it is.
Wait, what kind of trader would I be?
You don't fit. You're nothing. You don't fit in any, because of intersectionality. You avoid all the trait, because everything hits you. So
I was gonna
if you
say,
stand up to the system, who are you betraying? See what I'm saying? Who are you going against by it?
You're actually you're a supporter of all the right things. Like, to be, it's kind of like the traitor, like people calling you a traitor is actually, it's supposed to be an insult to you. It's supposed to be like, well, you're a white woman. Why don't you support white women? Like, because I'm not a dumbass. Like, I don't know. I don't know what else to tell you. Like, because that would be dumb of me. That would hold us back as a society, you know? Because white women already have privilege. So why would I support white women? I want to support all women, but some people view that as an attack. So thereby, I would be a traitor. But you're just, because of the intersectionality, you are just a supporter. You're saying all the right things, but you're a traitor to like pick me women. Yeah, I was going to say, that's the only people you're betraying is like a lot of...
Hate me.
Yeah. That's why they get mad at you for saying the truth about men. Yes. The pick-me's get really mad at you. I've noticed that. And then white women get really mad at me whenever I say stuff about white women or whiteness in general. Those videos of mine, those are the only ones that get taken down and it actually sticks, because it's I know who's reporting it, and it really sticks.
Is crazy.
They will brigade the post. It gets
white
very
women
vicious.
Got power, man.
Yeah, very very fast.
Don't be messing with the white women. They'll come and get you.
And that's, I mean, I talk about this all the time, but like when I came to America, like there's like a different air about the women because they do benefit from the patriarchy a lot more than
So
like
much.
women in my own country. You know what I mean? Like the women in my country have like a solidarity that you can feel. And then when you get to America and you get around like American white women, you're like, I am on my own. Like this is a very different, it's a very different water you're swimming
I think that's,
in.
I mean, I think the reason why that is though is because outside of America, most countries is very homogenous.
Exactly.
Yes.
No, that is
You know what I'm saying?
that's exactly why, because they have
That's
that
what it is. So it,
to wield. Yes, if you brought, yes, absolutely. Like if my country was not racially homogenous, like don't hear me saying that my people are not racist. They are terribly so. It's just something I can pick up on, I think, because I'm like neurodivergent and like things are very binary to me. And like I learned to like tune into the ether a little bit. Like I pick up people's energy. And just speaking of like upholding the systems and having scripts and stuff, like that's the thing that white women are very much infused with. And like you have to fit in with that script. And like a lot of women don't. Like a lot of women from other countries don't, because they have never had that juxtaposition of like, no, you exist alongside Black women. You know, like I never had that before. And then so for me to see like white women in America who do exist alongside Black women and then wield their privilege accordingly, it's like you are not all women, you know? And like white women love to say this. They're like, well, why is it not all women? It's like, no, why is it not all women? Like, why is it not, when I tell you that Black women experience a disproportionate, you know, oppression, you're like, ain't I a woman? No, that wasn't for you. That somebody else said that. A Black woman said that. Like that was never for you. What do you mean? Ain't I a woman? Yes, you are. Like men. It's
I know exactly what you mean.
The scripts are very loud in America. Yeah, for sure. Because you do. It's like a man. Yeah, you would have to give up some privilege. But what is the privilege?
It's scary.
It's the same privilege that like men have under the patriarchy. Once you're older, you're an older man, you're a weaker man. You know, like if you weren't born with, you know, like the tall genetics, if you're not born with, you know, whatever, like you have a disability as a man, whatever, the patriarchy doesn't benefit you. It only benefits you, you know.
Does it benefit a man with a micropene?
I don't think, maybe. If you got the money and you get buff enough.
Ooh, there you go.
Yeah, there's a lot of men with micro penises. Yeah, that go. I mean, that's how they get them. They get them by injecting stuff, and then the men love them for their muscles. But like,
we were talking about that.
I know that's why I brought it
up. That's a real thing.
Funny.
That's awful.
But like, I know I was born with a certain level of privilege. I'm just talking about like genetically. You know what I mean? Like genetically, I was born with a certain level of privilege because I'm tall. And I'm athletic. You know what I mean? Like, I know that. Like, I know there's, like, if you look up all the presidents, like, Obama's like 6'2", Trump is 6'3", Ronald Reagan was like 6'2", Abraham Lincoln was like 6'5". And you have to think about this. When you think about height in America and the average height and how much it has changed because we got better health. Even George Washington, all of it, you know what I'm saying? So like, think about how amazing that is, that even when everybody was short and everybody was dying at 35 years old and all that stuff, like, and we know how much height, like you can't, like, you don't think that that's weird? Nobody is connecting that dot. Like, just on that alone, that just proves that the patriarchy is full of these like unspoken rules, you know, that you wouldn't know until you know, and I wouldn't know. I didn't know. I was just born tall. I didn't know.
And everyone was nice to you. Like, and you didn't know
everybody
why.
was nicer to me. And I got more jobs and and I'm like, yeah, no, that's like pretty privileged, whatever, you know what I'm saying? Like with women or whatever, which pretty privilege doesn't really, I don't think it works for women. I don't think pretty privilege works for women the way that it does for men. You know what I'm saying? Like,
I think it's a gift and a curse.
It's not the same thing.
Right.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. There's no negative to me being attractive as a man. You know what I'm saying? There's no negative.
There's a huge negative.
You see what I'm saying? There's no
women.
downside to me being like an attractive man even to other men, not
Right.
even just to women. I'm saying like
the other
to
men love you
men.
more. They love you
They
more.
love me
I just
more.
know
You know what
they
I'm
go
saying?
belly up. It's crazy. Like I was actually going to ask, and I think we might have even asked this last time, but it's always been fascinating to me. Like, how do you think that affected your journey and like your relationship, even with the patriarchy? Like, was it harder to like give up your perceived privilege? Do you feel like you had to give it up at all to do this work?
Yeah, I did though. Well, I can't give up my privilege because my privilege is all the drugs I take are tested on my physiological makeup. All, the car I drive.
Yeah.
I'm good. I have a better rate of survival. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the part of the patriarchy that I focus on. I don't even be focused on the like men eat steak, women eat salad part of it. Like that's whatever. That's like lowbrow shit to like bring in the dummies, right? Because that's all they know. But like when you really start getting to the crux of it, to the core, to the core of the issue, it's like on the daily, I benefit from the patriarchy, whether I want to or not. I can't renounce my throne. You know what I'm saying? I'm not the Princess Zamunda. Like you know what I mean? Like I'm locked in with me and the patriarchy like this, whether I want to be a part of it or not. I'm still a man. And biologically, I benefit from it. Forget socially, forget politically, forget economically. I biologically benefit from the patriarchy. So I didn't give up shit. I didn't have to sacrifice anything. And like I said, because I never really liked men to begin with. I never really, you know what I'm saying? Like I always thought, and not to sound whatever, I always thought I was better than most men. As and I can, again, these are not things that I could, contextualize or put into words, but I felt like that. And today I say this all the time. Like people be like, I'm not a good man. I would never say that. No. I stopped saying it. I'm a great man. I'm the best. I'm a top tier man. I'm a top tier man. I'm better than 99.9% of men I've ever seen. Because the bar is so low to be a good man. It's super easy to be a good man.
Yes.
I'm fucking an awesome man. Like, who gives a fuck? But am I a good human? And the answer is no. Like, I don't feel like I'm a good, you know what I'm saying? Like, I can't say overall I'm a good human, especially if my bar is Sovereign Woman or Lisa or my wife or the women I know, you know what I mean? I'm like, I ain't nowhere near, I'm nothing like her. Like my wife, I'm not in a competition with my wife, thank God, but like,
right, I know.
That saying the best man is still not as good as the average woman. Yeah. Men can get mad about that all they want to. They could try to flip it around and it don't work because it's stupid. And that's another, real quick, men, stop stealing women's shit and acting like if you say it in reverse, see how stupid it sounds? Yeah. Yes, it sounds stupid. Yeah, you're right. It does sound stupid. When you say it, it sounds stupid when you say it. Yes, I agree.
Thank you.
You got me there.
No, for sure.
You got me there. But it don't hit the same.
And that's why we say like, oh, like the good men like are aware of this. That's what it takes because you were handed a different script. Like your script actually seeks to de-evolutionize you. Like it seeks to make you into a little smooth little cog that's not going to clog up the machine of the patriarchy. Kind of like you were saying, that's men's job. Men's job is to hold up the patriarchy. Like I often liken it to the movie Mad Max. I don't know if you've seen it, but like the new version of it. The guy is like just trying to run away the whole time. Like Mad Max himself. He's like, I don't want any part of this. I don't want to be one of the war boys. I don't want to be one of the war heroes. I don't want to be like a right-hand man to this like horrible dictator. I don't want any of it. Like your choice is you either fully participate in it or you leave to where the other men cannot harass you or trap you or try to like get you to act just like them. Like that was his whole mission, was to just get the fuck out of there. And like he ended up helping the women along the way, but like that was kind of like his end game, was like, I still just want to get out of here. I don't even want to live in this like new society, like whatever. I'm just done with the whole thing. And I'm like, I feel like a lot of men can probably, relate to that with this journey, because it really, the end game of the patriarchy is that world that they live in with no water, a man and his Nepo babies, scrotus and anus or whatever, running the whole country. And he gets all the women and all the other men are just war boys, or everybody else just lives in poverty and they're all ugly and broke and like they have no clothes and they have to stand outside waiting for the,
That's what I tell men. That's what polygamy would look like.
Yes.
And they always get mad. Yes. And I'm like, bro, if polygamy was real, all the women would be at Drake's house. Like y'all, like the way y'all be really up here thinking that like if we practice polygamy, then men will have more access to women. It doesn't make sense, bro.
Less.
You're going to have less
Way
access.
less.
You're going to have less access to women, man.
But yeah, okay, so obviously a million thank yous for joining us again today. Like, I feel like this conversations is just always so helpful for women to see, you know, hear it straight from the horse's mouth, for lack of a better term. Like, just hear a man just be honest about like where he's been, where he's come from, like the things that sort of opened his eyes along the way. I know we have men that listen to this podcast, like whether it's out of spite or out of, you know, because they do enjoy it. Like, I think that's also extremely helpful. You know, we talked last time, and be sure that y'all check out this episode. We talked a lot about, you know, raising boys with Public. So please be sure you go back and check that out. Please be sure you check out his channels. I mean, obviously, the man is a machine, honestly.
Yes.
But
Oh my
Sovereign
God.
and I are both trying to lock in to get
We
to the
are.
level where you're at, where you're just, you know, putting out content like at the rate that you are. Like, you're very much committed to this work. And I do, like, I even appreciate that, because, you know, a lot of people are like, why so much content? Because people yearn for it. Like, people, you know what I mean? Like, even when I like don't post for a few days, like I'll get complaints, and it's like, putting out
Where
3
were
to
you?
4 videos a day, is actually really
hard.
helpful, because it is sometimes it is more about quantity, like, and not even over quality. I think all your videos are both quantity and quality, but it's just like getting the word out there, because you really are like the reason you're one of the only men we've ever had on this podcast, the only man, is because like it's really hard to find men who don't look like they're like fucking stroking it while they're talking about women's issues. Like, I don't know how else to explain it. It's just like you are not like
I know exactly what you mean, though.
right?
Yeah.
Stroking their own
I know
ego,
exactly what you're
like
talking
for
about.
lack of a better term. It's just like
Oh, my mind went somewhere else. Sorry.
no, that is what I
knew
meant.
exactly
Also,
I knew
Oh,
exactly what
it's
you were
both,
talking about. Though.
yes.
Oh, okay.
It's just
Yeah.
like, man, you're getting off on being a good guy, you know? Like, you think you're so cool. But I just love your genuine frustration with the system. Like, it
I
makes
know.
me feel like I can actually relate, you
Quick
know?
question.
You get
Quick
to a
question,
place
Pub.
with men where you be like, I don't like them either. Like,
Yeah.
cause you just talk to them
Yeah.
every day, and they gaslight me the same way they gaslight women. And I was like, yeah, this is weird. Like, you guys are like, this is, you know, like,
Not
and they
normal,
like, I just
yeah.
started, it's not normal. I was
No.
like, bro, as terrible as I've done, you know what I'm saying? Like, stuff that I've done or whatever, you know, in my youth and coming up and all that stuff. Like, I was never stupid.
That was not.
It-
Yeah.
I just never had the information. I never had the conversations. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If I talk to me now when I was 25, I would have been like, no, that's a fair point. I wouldn't have been like, but it goes both ways. Like, I wasn't, look, that's what I'm saying. When I was that
Yeah.
age, look, I promise, I swear to y'all, my wife had to tell me that women also cheated. Like, I was always like, women don't even be cheating. You know what I'm saying? And she was like, no, women be cheating. And I was like, nah, that's like a man thing. Like, men be cheating. Like, we, you know. And my wife literally had to like point out a bunch of women that we knew. She was like, well, what about her? What about her? And I was like, okay, women be cheating sometimes. Like, but I never thought like women, you know what I'm saying? I always knew that men were worse than women,
Yeah,
just
I
in
know.
general.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I always knew like we were the bad guys. But the way that I was able to rationalize it was because I always got this reassurance from other men that what I was doing was okay.
Mm.
And as soon as I rejected that, then I was like, oh, okay, yeah, no, all this stuff is stupid. All this stuff is bad. That wasn't right. All that I learned before. And I was able just to get rid of it and discard it. But these dudes, they don't want it. I mean, they feel like they're going to die if they learn something new.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, you taught me something new.
It's
Oh,
true.
my God. I'm
They feel
bro,
like their brain's gonna
you'll be-
explode out of their skull
like
and
blow
just,
on. I'm like, dog,
yeah.
you're good, dog. You can learn something new. You
I
don't
know.
have to gaslight everybody.
I know we got to wrap it up real quick. One more quick question, Public. What's your view on the male loneliness epidemic? And do you think women nowadays in this current like climate, do you think they're wasting their time with the men with this like misogynistic mindset, this patriarchal mindset?
Wasting their time like dating them?
Yeah.
Or just trying to be in community with them in general?
Trying to be in community, trying to date them, trying to take them seriously, trying to just...
If I was a woman, and I wouldn't take men seriously.
okay.
Like, I wouldn't, yeah.
Yeah.
I would, me personally, I wouldn't take men seriously because I don't really, you know, y'all know I'm not an advice giver to women,
Yeah.
but like, my only advice for women, because I'm talking to so many women, I don't know your husband. I don't know your boyfriend. I don't know your, you know what I mean? Like, I don't know these dudes. Yeah. So if I'm just giving like general advice to the general group, it's like, yeah, abstain from all men. Men are freaking terrible. The odds that you're going to find a non-shitty man is like slim to none. So who am I? Why would I set you up and be like, no, you got to keep trying. You need to, no. Just avoid all men. Like, that's your safest, healthiest bet. But if you want to be with men, I don't have a problem with you wanting to be with men. I think it's okay. I think that what women do, to me, it just make, like, all of it, I can understand why. Like, I understand the women that are like, I want a man to pay all my bills. I understand the women that are like, I'm going to go 50-50. I understand the women that's like, I'm never dating a man. I understand the women that's like, I want to have children. I understand the women that's like, I'm never having kids. Like, I get all of it. It all makes sense to me. They're not conflicting with one another. They all make sense, right? Yeah. So who am I to tell women, you know, what to do? I'm just saying the best thing I could do, though, as a man is validate, like, you're not crazy. Like, what you feel about men, if you think men are crazy, men are crazy. If you think men ain't shit, men aren't shit. In general, like, your daddy probably wasn't shit. True. Your wife, your husband probably ain't shit. Your boyfriend probably ain't shit. You probably making up a bunch of excuses. The same way my wife got to make up a bunch of excuses to be with me. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the same shit. I know that. I know that woman roll over and look at me in the morning sometimes and be like, this motherfucker. I know, she got to think that. I would, without a doubt, I would. With no doubt about it.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh. I've recently figured out like a vetting tactic that has been blowing my own mind because it's so underrated. But I think if most women were to ask themselves, does my boyfriend, husband, dad, brother, friend, whatever, make my life better and make my life easier? If you can say yes to those two questions, and if you as a man can say, yes, I make her life better, I make her life easier, then you're a good man. You can go around talking about, I'm a good man. If you know what I mean? Then there's work left to do. And that is...
A lot of men think that they are like the best providers, and they think... Like they really think they're good men. The worst
I want to be that man. I'm not that man yet.
Think that
I'm not him.
And the awareness is like the first step. You know what I mean? I think that's like a lot of men would say that. They're like, I just by nature, like not by nature, but by the way that I was raised, like what I know how to do, what I don't know how to do, I'm probably not making her life better and easier, but I will die trying.
Yeah, I want to be better at it. Yeah. But
that's
I
the
pay
strategy.
all the bills.
That's easier. That makes her life easier.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, but that doesn't make you.
What I'm saying.
What does that make you a good man?
It don't mean nothing.
Right.
That's what I be trying to. That's why I be laughing at the provider man. I'm like, I pay all the bills, and I'm still like, nah, I'm way behind. I'm still not making that woman's life.
You can admit that. The worst men will never admit that because they think they are the cream of the crop God sends just because they pay the bills. No. That's the problem. That's the issue.
Yeah,
that's easy.
They don't do shit.
Yeah. I was gonna work anyway.
Like, Exactly. You were going to pay for your own place anyway.
I was going to work anyway.
Yeah.
Like,
and you were going to need
she might as well come stay with me. Like,
That's what I always say. I'm like, my husband's paying his own bills, okay? Don't fucking come for me.
Anyway.
Like, he's paying his own bills. What the hell?
Look, hey, I got a California king size bed. If I was by myself, I'll probably have a queen. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, it ain't really much. Hey, it's still, I got the same amount of bed. I don't know what y'all want from me, but I don't. Right. I would never feel like, oh man, like yeah, man, I'm paying the bills. But would your life be better?
Yeah. Would your life be better?
My life wouldn't be better without
queen. Exactly.
Fuck no.
Yeah.
Without my wife? No.
Yeah.
Hell no.
Yeah. You would just have a queen bed, but no queen.
No queen. Useless. I might as well. Hey, and that's why a lot of men be sleeping on crates. Cause why? Because why?
Camping out in their own living room. Yeah.
Camping out in the living room. The TV on the ground. Like, oh man, it's crazy.
Oh, eating out of a dog bowl.
Lawn chair.
Yeah.
For furniture.
Yeah.
The lawn chair.
A single plate. A single fork.
No ottoman. Like, come on, bro. There's no way to live.
No ottoman? Yeah. No, they got an ottoman.
I'm a king.
An old cooler that they found somewhere.
I'm a king.
Yeah, I'm a king.
They had a cooler. The cooler and the ottoman combo, yeah.
It's just practical, okay? It's just practical.
It's practical. I get it.
Oh, well, thank you so much again for being here. I know I already gave the spiel, so go follow Public. Especially if you're a man, just go learn something. Like, please delete the comment you were typing.
Yes.
All right, delete the comment you were typing here and go listen to like 10 public offender videos, do 100 push-ups, and then
go to his lives.
Come back
TikTok.
here if you still want to. You know what I'm saying?
There you go.
Go to his lives and just listen and learn
just
something.
Listen.
Oh my God.
Oh, it's my favorite. I'm always like, my
Scary.
show is on.
I know, right?
It's the best.
Appreciate y'all.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll be right back with our mailbag. Thank you. Welcome back, and it's time to dig into our mailbag. We have a very kind of alludes to something Public was describing earlier. Anyways, I'll just get into it. Hi, just wanted to start off and say I recently found your podcast and it has completely changed my view on a lot of things. Really grateful for your content, and we are very grateful for you. Thank you so much. My question is, for probably the last 5 years, my brother-in-law has been sending me inappropriate sexual text messages that usually include things like, come join me in the shower, you should have a threesome with your sister and me, etc. But recently, it's escalated to him talking about his penis size and how he is in bed, and it's making me very uncomfortable. By the way, he's lying about both of those things. I've asked him to stop numerous times, reminding him that he's married to my sister, but he thinks I'm not being serious and keeps doing it. It's getting to the point where I don't even want to go to family functions because I'm so enraged at how gross he's being. I haven't told my parents because I know my dad would absolutely lose it. What should I do? Girl, that sounds terrifying. I'm so sorry.
It sounds like he wants her to tell the sister. There's no way he's doing this without. Does he want out? And he just wants you to
Public enlighten us. We need a man. I'm actually so glad you're here because I have no idea what to do with this.
Because I'm confused by a couple of things. Like, why? Tell your sister. I'm sorry. First and foremost, what are we doing? Secondly, he just wants some vagina. Like, it ain't. I mean, it's real. You know what I'm saying? He just. I don't know. You know what I'm saying? Like, I don't know how else.
He wants to talk about it in the group chat.
He want to put it in the group chat. He want to put his wang dang in the group chat so everybody can see it. Y'all you know what it is? This is what y'all got to remember about me. Whenever you try to add extra steps to things that men do, don't. You're doing too much.
Okay.
Right? Like, just keep it, like, he just horny. He just wants to sleep with as many, you know what I'm saying? Like, if you think like that, like, just boil it down. It's like, it ain't no Game of Thrones. Like, we're not that smart. It's not it.
Like,
we just want to hunch
anybody
as many
else
women
besides
as we.
his wife's sister, though?
No. Proximity.
Why not? Yeah, okay. I was gonna say it's easier.
Proximity. It's easier. You sleep with the women. You sleep with your co-workers. You sleep with the people in the church. You sleep with the women that are around you.
That are in person. I get that. But isn't it safe to say that he clearly does not care about his marriage, though? There's no way that he cares about his marriage.
Oh, I mean, anybody that cheats doesn't care about their marriage. Okay. So that's not new. Like, why would he be an exception?
That's my thing. You not only do you want to cheat, you are going after her sister. To me, that is, you hate your wife.
He got porn brain though.
And
I was gonna say, you got porn brain big time.
I'm wondering,
he got the porn brain.
Well, because the invitation to the threesome kind of is letting me know that maybe the sister realizes, like, maybe she knows, or like,
why wouldn't the sister go? Did the sister not go to her?
I know that's like there's definitely some information
maybe the sister
missing.
is privy to it, and that's why he's so brazen.
Shit. Okay, we need more context to this.
Like, we're dealing with either pick me sister.
Are you scared to tell her? Do you think she like this? There's a lot of stuff missing.
But she said she doesn't want to tell her parents. She didn't say, I don't want to tell my sister.
Yeah.
She said, I don't want to tell my parents. Like, why would you circumvent? Yeah. Why would you go to your dad? And I don't know the ages either. She could be 18 or the sister could be, 30 for all we know. And I think, she's a really young woman and maybe, but.
It's very weird that your sister would want to fuck you and her husband. Your sister. You want to commit incest with your sister and your husband. So that just sounds like
I've seen it before in the porn.
No, I know it happens. But I'm saying, like,
that's where he got it. Yeah.
That's where he got it from. That's all I'm saying. Like,
there's so many angles. I don't really understand, because how is he this comfortable coming to her in the first place? That's kind of what I'm. But she didn't want to go to her sister. She didn't say anything about going to her sister.
To Lisa's point, she could know something about her sister that she ain't telling us that we, you know what I mean? Like, it could be that. Leave them both alone.
Yeah, I was gonna say
until she divorces him.
Yeah,
but that's what I'm saying. Maybe if she's privy to it, then she probably isn't gonna divorce him. That's what I'm saying. We don't. It's so much we don't know.
I'm either way. It's a win-win. Listen, if she knows, then she's in on it.
Ugh,
can't be around her at that point.
Oh my God. Yeah.
If she doesn't know and you can't tell nobody, protect yourself, right? Gotta leave him alone. Like, either way, you gotta leave him alone. You gotta leave him alone, because at this point,
if it was me, I would want my sister to tell me. I would want my sister to tell me that my husband was.
Not if you were a pick-me, though. If you were a pick-me, then you would not want her to tell you. You would view that as a breaching of, like,
I would want my sister
a whole different. I know, because you're not a pick-me. But if you think that the man is a prize.
I told her girl she was getting cheated on, and she hated us. She hated me and my wife. We told her.
Yeah. Yes. No, that's a real thing that happens. Yeah. Yeah, because they're like, I would have rather not known. Like, why would you tell me? Because now I know. Like, before I didn't know, and I could have my, like, happy life. Like, I thought my man was a prize. Like, I knew he had a wandering eye, but I just didn't know whether he had, like, acted on it or not. And now you have, you know, it's like they view it as like you're trying to take something away from me. And also, to me, this sounds like a very patriarchal culture that she comes from. So, like, I'm also wondering if she is not like American, because I know my dad would absolutely lose it. Sounds like he would, you know, might try to pull up with a weapon or something like that, because he feels disrespected because his daughter was disrespected, like, by proximity. So it sounds like she may be afraid of, like, this. It's almost like a hyper patriarchal, you know, mess happening, because.
So I guess because she went straight into, I can't tell my dad or my parents, whatever, because my dad would lose it. I guess it does sound like her sister must not even be a factor, because there's no point in telling the sister, because she's either a pick-me or she's in on it,
trapped.
Or trapped, and the husband is
could be abusive.
That could be the case too. So, okay, if she's not telling the sister, it sounds like a sister is a non-motherfucking factor, basically, in so many words.
So what do you do to, like, protect yourself? Yeah.
Click boom.
I would tell my dad.
Right.
Because I would want him to absolutely lose it. But that's just me. Stop. Not the click boom.
You know,
I think I'm being real. You got.
In my mind, if I know my daddy would lose it on somebody and I want that person to stop, I probably would tell my dad for that reason. That's just me, though.
No, I don't want my daddy. I mean, well, I don't care about
I don't want him to go to jail or whatever,
theory,
but if my dad can just threaten you without actually doing something, because that's like what my dad would do. My dad he will find a way to, like, intimidate you without actually breaking the law, so to speak. I would tell my dad.
Yeah, maybe you just ask him. Maybe you say, hey, Dad, what would you do? Or, like, what do you think a dad should do if he finds out that one of his daughters is getting cheated on? Like, maybe you just ask him. And just see.
And engage where he's at with it. Huh?
I'm definitely I'm definitely the go to jail type of dude.
Yeah.
That's why that's why a lot of people don't get me involved in stuff. Because I'm like, I be like going there. I be like, oh, yeah, okay. Y'all want to, because I don't know. Like, I don't know how to cut it off. You know what I'm saying? That's why I be trying to be like, all like cool. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. You gonna do something like that? Because now no, for real. Because now you're like, it's a threat to me. I'm like, okay, so you like grapey on one of my daughters. What you doing to the other? You know what I mean? Like, now I gotta. And if you not, I'm not saying like I would just pull up and smash. You know what I'm saying? Like, but I'm gonna pull up and be on some like, you gotta go. Wrap all this shit up. You gotta go. Like, you gotta get out of here. You know, I'm gonna overdo it. You know, so
you know what I would do? If I were you, I would tell him, if you don't stop, I'm gonna tell my sister. If the sister knows already, I'm gonna tell my dad.
That's how you find out.
And
that's how you find out too, if the sister knows.
That's what I would do. Threaten to tell the sister. If that doesn't do anything because she's in on it or she's weak or whatever the case is, I'm going to tell my dad. The next time you come at me, I'm going to tell my dad. Now, I don't know if this man is violent. I don't know if saying that is going to put you in harm's way. You got to gauge
Every
that
man is
because I
violent.
don't know. No, but I'm saying like, I've threatened men that I was going to do something and they did absolutely nothing and because they were weak. And then you
They're
threaten some
cowardly.
men
Yeah.
and then they will like blow the fuck up. So she would have to gauge what kind of man he is, the best to her ability. But if you think it's safe for you to say, well, I mean, I wonder how my dad would feel about this. And just see how he reacts to it. That's what I would do. But at the same time, I would gauge whether it's safe because there's men that I know would probably kill me if I said I'm gonna. You know what I'm saying? So I wouldn't tell you what my next move is. But there are some guys that you just know what I mean.
Know
like
they're not gonna
they're
do
not gonna
anything.
do shit. So you just gotta decide.
That's where it's hard.
That's
Women
the hard part.
always have to worry about their safety or like even your sister's safety because it's like, oh, I'm gonna tell my sister, and it's like then he puts hands on the sister, and
or never mind.
No, go ahead.
No, I was going to say in situations like this, and I've done this in my 20s. Instead of me addressing a situation, I would set it up to where the situation would address itself. So for an example, if I knew
like Toni Braxton. In that one video when she like set the dude up and then he came in the back and she like pointed to the camera.
Yeah.
Oh wait, which video was that? Which one?
He wasn't man enough for me. You remember that video?
Oh, I do, but it's been a long time since I've seen it. Okay. Yeah, it's been a long time.
And she had her like real husband at the time in the video and he was like, it was her and Robin Givens. Those were the two. And then Robin Givens was the girlfriend.
Oh yeah, I remember that song. Yep. I remember the song. I remember part of the video. They were at the
strung
club
him
or
along
something.
a little bit just to give him a little, and then she got him in the back room of the club, and then he was like taking off his shirt and stuff, and then she just pointed up to the camera like, "Got you."
I think I do
and
remember
then Robin walked in.
Yeah. Because
I remember. Is that what you're picturing?
Yeah, but there was a time when I knew that a man was cheating on a woman, and I wanted to tell her, but then I was like, no, I'm not going to tell her, but I told her indirectly without her ever knowing it was me, if that makes sense. So maybe, I don't know, you might have to get creative. No,
Why does that make me think of that note from the Jersey Shore? Sam.
Wait, which no?
Did you ever watch it?
A long time ago. I mean, when it was like popular. I just don't remember though, like a lot of it.
When they were trying to tell Sammy when when Snooki and Jenny were trying to tell Sammy that Ron was like cheating on her, but they were all living in the same house and like they know each other's handwriting, whatever. So their brilliant plan was to go to like the local public library and type it out on like a computer. And like, tell her that way. And they were like, wait, but we have to use like big words so that she won't know it's us. And it's like, no, she's going to know it's you because y'all live in the same house. But it was very funny.
But that's funny.
It was like the first night at bed when you left, Ron made out with two girls and put his head in between a cocktail waitress's breasts. Also was grinding with multiple fat women. When you left crying at Clutch. When you left crying at
Clutch.
I know. Because it was like 2002,
what
okay?
What did they weight have to do with anything, man?
Back
Let them women live.
Everything.
Hey, I bet you there was probably like 5'8", 160 pounds too. Because back then everybody was fat. They was calling Christina Aguilera fat.
Exactly.
Everybody was fat.
Exactly.
Too. I was like, damn.
Yes. There were like multiple people in the house know. Therefore, you should know the truth. And therefore was their big word that they used. By the way.
Oh wow.
Oh my god.
Therefore.
So funny.
Okay. So what's our official advice? Is it to set him up? Is it to, well, I guess like we're giving you options because you didn't really give us all the details. So I guess here's your options. Okay. You can do what Jenny and Snooki did, and you can write her an anonymous note. Okay. Multiple people in the house know, therefore you should know the truth. Okay. You can do the Toni Braxton. You can lure him. No, wait. Do we want Ryan to shake in his head? No. Okay. Well, you can set him up in a way that, what if you like responded positively to one of the text messages and then sent it to your sister? Or like,
Wait, positively? What you mean?
If you were like, yeah, okay, I'll text her and set up the threesome. Like, what if you just text her and was like, Hey, your husband wants to have a threesome. Like, you down? When should we do it?
Perfect, actually.
Like, if she doesn't know.
The next, yeah, that's a good idea.
Why is your husband asking me for a threesome?
I'll text my sister and see if she. that
right?
sounds crazy, but you guys
he's asking for it. He's kind of asking for it at this point. Or do you go the full nuclear option and you tell your dad? Those are your three?
The dad could possibly be the last resort if nothing else works. If she thinks he's going to lose it and like get violent or whatever, and she's scared that he might go to jail.
Yes. That also depends how old you are.
Yeah, I know.
You might just be able to call the police. Like if you're 16, just call the police. I don't know what to like. That's weird.
True.
You know?
That'll stop everything in its tracks.
Yeah.
And whatever you do, you're going to probably have to accept that maybe your sister may
disown you.
It may strain your relationship. So you have to be prepared for that possibility as well. Because if
it could
she's
either go it's going to go one way or the other. It's either going to get stronger or weaker.
Yeah.
That's it.
So you got to be mentally prepared for that. It ain't going
to be the same.
It's not going to be the same.
Yeah. I think that's kind of all we got for you, babe, because we don't really have all the pieces of all the information. I appreciate that because we do want to keep you anonymous, but, feel free to follow up. Let us know how it goes or, follow up with more questions or whatever, because we are heavily invested. So,
or you can, you can write back in and give us a little bit more detail if you want.
Right. Maybe. And then we can help you go from there.
Revisit.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Revisit. All right. Well, we love y'all. Thank you for writing into the mailbag. It is mailbag@sirensound.co. I have a wonderful recommendation for y'all that will be in the notes. It's an article breaking down like all about how like masculinity works. Obviously, our other recommendation is the public offender, all of his channels, everything like that. And before we go, I'm just going to read off our poll results. And then we will see some, or I hope even more of you in our crumpet segment, which I think public is also going to stick around for to play our little name that microaggression game. All right. So our question was, have you ever had a guy use red pill manspeak on you? Here were the options. Yes, and I fell for it at first. B was yes, but I only realized what it was later. C was not directly, only online. And then D was he tried, but I shut it down. Sovereign, what would your answer be? Have you ever had a guy use red pill manspeak on you?
Oh, yes. I would say all of them. I've experienced all four, for sure.
You experienced all four?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I think that's probably where most of us are at. But yeah, the one that won out was yes, but I only realized what it was later.
Yeah.
And that's why that's why we try to educate y'all, because to some of us this is so familiar and seems like old news, but it like breaking it down on the podcast has really helped me to see, and like the response that people have had to it has really helped me to see that like there's a lot of things we take for granted because we're swimming in that water. And a lot of people are, a lot of people just don't know any better. So that's why we're here. So thanks y'all for sticking around, and we'll see you next week. Please join us for Crumpets if you are able. Bye.